Y'all, stay true to yourself, okay? All the time, day in and day out, because let me tell you, it's nothing like you meeting somebody and they see you not at your best, and then now they're treating you like you don't know who you are, and they're just treating you like you just a regular schmegler. And it's like, no, you know who I am? But now you're sitting here, instead of showing them, you're trying to convince them, because they already have this perception of you. They already, calculated and made up their judgments against you. So it's like, dang, now the relationship is already starting off on a rocky foot, because these people already seen you not at your best. And now, it's crazy how people, not all people, but most people will look at a person, judge them from wherever they're at in that particular moment in life, and that's what sticks with them forever. And that, I don't believe that's of God, because one, it says, first shall be last, last shall be first. And then it says, as above as below, and just pretty much don't look down on people, because you can be at that same spot, later down the road. You're looking down on somebody and you can end up right where they were at, and they can end up on top. So we have to be careful of making our judgments and our assumptions about people. Like I did a video back then, like, you just don't ever know who you're going to come in contact with. They can be an angel in disguise, and now you over here messing it all up. So I just wanted to come and let y'all know, always make sure you are on your A game. I always remember growing up, and my mom's always like, always put your best first impression on, you know what I mean? And I lived by that. And then eventually I realized it doesn't even matter sometimes if you do put your best impression on, because some people are just going to always have something to say, oh, you're too dressed up. Oh, you too, beautified, too looking good, and it's like, okay. So all I'm trying to say is, just be you, whoever God has created you to be, whether it's you always glammed up, whether it's you laid back, whether it's you chill, whether it's you always like, hey, joyful, happy, like me. Now, just be that, because people will come into your life and treat you less than what you are, and like I said, it's nothing worse than feeling like, dang. But what I do love is, once the person comes into your life and they treat you some type of way, and then you start to really show them who you are, and then now they want to try to switch up and be like, oh, guess what, y'all? That's your sign to dip, because those people weren't there for the right reasons. They weren't genuine. They were looking for something else. They weren't accepting you. They weren't willing to look on the inside, most importantly, because I think a lot of people just judge people on the outside first, but they're not really seeing your heart. They're not trying to get to know you, your soul, your mind, body, and spirit. They're just trying to, I don't know, they're just there for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. So, like I said, do your best to show up as you all the time, the best self, even if you can't get there, because life happens, so we need to be a little bit more lenient with each other and stuff. It's not always going to be on 10 or on 100. For me, it's like, I give people grace and mercy, because I know I have my bad days. I know every day is not on point for me. So I would love for, people to give me that grace. And it says in the word, do unto others as you will have them to do unto you. So if you don't want somebody just quickly writing you off, then don't write off others. That's going to give you grace and mercy and favor in the sight of the Lord. Okay. Because if you're just always, pretty much, you're going to get treated and judged according to how you treated and judged others. Okay, that same measure is going to be added to you. So let's just be mindful, y'all. This life is supposed to be full of happiness and joy and peace and just love and kindness and gentleness and all those lovely fruits of the spirits that you guys hear me probably talk about, and others. Let's just be honest. This is the time where we need to start coming together and showing each other, like, hey, I see you, brother, I see you, sister, keep going. Actually, I was at the airport, and recently when I traveled, and I just saw a mom, and she had like 2 little ones, and the little girl, she was probably about the same age as my daughter. I went on this vacation by myself, so I was like, oh Lord, this feels so weird, but it felt good. But I'm seeing her daughter act out, and I'm just like, oh Lord, if those were my kids, I know how I would feel, like kind of like not embarrassed, but like, dang man, like, can't we just get through this? And I just heard the mom was like, stop, she's just like, just stop. Like, and I'm just like, I feel you, because when you are a mom, you should be able to feel another mom. I don't judge other people, period, like how others may, I'm very understanding, empathetic and stuff. So the Holy Spirit just says, you need to go tell her that she's doing a great job. You need mom to mom, okay? Sister to sister, you need to go tell her, like, she's doing a great job. And I didn't know, I think I was in Turkey at the time, waiting for my next flight. And I didn't know if she spoke English or not. But I did hear her say, stop. So I'm like, okay, well, hopefully she'll understand what I say when I do go up there. But man, the enemy was really trying to keep me from like putting that off. Like, no, you don't have to, please, you don't have to do that. But the Holy Spirit was like, girl, you better get up and go, because you need to hear that at times. When you're a mom, you need to hear people say, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep going, keep up the great work, because sometimes as moms, we have it so hard where it's like, you're doing everything on point, but that one time you don't, people are judging you, and then you get backlash, and that, like I was talking about, that one bad day, you make a person's mind already perceive you as this horrible person, and then it's like you don't want to be perceived as a horrible mom, right? So I finally got up, because her husband was there. I believe that was her husband, and I don't know, it's just how I feel about certain things when it comes to even marriages and relationships. I feel like most of it falls on moms, and it's not fair at times. It's really not. We already had to do the heavy lifting, 9 months, and then the labor, and then, and then we are naturally going to take to our child. So I just felt like, he was like, not really stepping in when he could have stepped in. So I just, when he left, I just was like, let me go tell her. So when she ended up being by herself, I go and said, hey, I just want to let you know that you're doing a great job. She's, oh, thank you. Like, you can tell she was a little flustered. And I said, I understand. I'm a mom too, of 3 little ones. So trust me, I get it. I said, keep it up. You're doing it. And I felt so good after doing that. And I know she felt good. It maybe didn't feel like it at that moment, because she was just like, I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm trying to go rest and relax. I just felt good that I did my part on what God wanted me to do. And however she took it is how she took it and stuff. But that's what we need to do, y'all. We need to come together and start having open arms and more praise and love towards one another. This life is not easy because of the judgments, because of the enemy and the adversary trying to turn us against each other, and based off of the stupidest things, the color of your skin, the how much money you make, about where you're from. Like, what? Are you kidding me? So you're gonna choose that nonsense over peace and happiness and love? Like, no. Let's make better decisions, you guys. This is the life that we're supposed to enjoy. What is it? What does it say? On earth as it is in heaven. And I always say this, if you guys been watching my videos for a while, you guys probably hear the same stuff, because I am a very what is it called, I go by certain mantras, I go by certain rules, and I go by certain philosophies. I go by what the word says as far as the happiness and the good. And if we just follow that stuff, the basics, the fruits of the spirits and stuff like that, everything else will fall in line, because we're operating off of the Spirit of God. So for me, I just stick with certain things, and it doesn't really change up in here, because I'm not that person that switches up as far as who I am. When you see me, you're going to see me always smiling, you're happy, and this and that. And if you don't, it's probably you just had a rough day, or I'm tired or whatnot. But when I talk to you, that smile lights up, because I talk with excitement. I talk with happiness and joy. And, you know, which brings me to, I actually had some people in middle school, girls that didn't like me and my twin sister. And they would say, oh, we don't like them because they smile when they talk. Who says that? Who says they don't like someone because they smile when they talk? Now that, you got to be real bitter, real just miserable. You know, that's just weird to me. So anyways, I'm just telling you guys all these little experiences, because at the end of the day, like, let's just come together and love one another. You know, help each other when you see a person that needs help or this and that. Now, if it comes to something crazy where it's like little violent type of stuff, let's use our brain and not try to get in the middle and get hurt or anything, but let's call authorities that can handle that and stuff. But let's just do what we can and let God handle the rest. Just just show up as your best self. You know, like, people really get happy when they see other happy people that are smiling, people that are excited to speak to them and say, hi, how's your day? You know, that's not a bad thing. Hello, just because you talk to people, I don't care. Let's get on this too. Just because you answered the phone and text back right away doesn't mean that's a weird thing. That's a good thing. That's because you're respecting that person's time. You want to show that person that they matter. Like, all that, oh, I don't want to look like I'm all quick with it and stuff, like, that's childish, y'all. That's really immature and that's sick. Okay, so you're telling me you on your phone and you're just not going to answer because you want that person to think that you're busy or this and that. Like, you know, unless I'm really busy, I'm going to answer or text back. Unless I'm really busy, most of the times, like, I will look at my phone and put it down real quick because I'm dealing with my kids, or I don't even answer numbers and calls that are not saved in my phone. But that's it, y'all. That's all I wanted to come and tell y'all. Yeah, again, just be all that you can be. Cherish your beauty.